right, go ahead.
Welcome to the It Takes Two YouTube channel. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
Let's get to it.
Okay. It's going to take some practice, but okay, let's get straight into it. What are we reviewing today?
Okay, we're talking about Love and Marriage Detroit. First season, first episode.
Yes.
Whole new cast, whole new city. So I'm excited to get into it.
Just so y'all know, Blair is the OG of this series, of this whole Love and Marriage. I'm new to it. You've been watching since the first Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Yeah.
And then they did DC. Yeah. And now they're doing Detroit.
Right.
So I'm definitely following your lead.
Okay.
In this because you are the OG. So lead me.
All right. Come on.
All right.
All right. So we've got 1, 2, 3 couples.
Yes.
So we've got Colby and Russell Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Christina and Brandon, the Smiths.
Okay.
And Dr. LaToya Thompson and her husband, Anthony.
Okay.
So first we get started off with Christina and Brandon. Like we kind of get an intro to all the couples in the episode.
I think it's Carlos' hometown or something like that. Carlos King. Yeah.
He was mentioning that.
Mm-hmm.
So Christina and Brandon, they when they got engaged or married after being together less than 6 months.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then, so she's a fashion and social media influencer, and I think he's like a producer or has his own like music something.
Yeah, I think I saw something where he like producer. He writes songs. He also developed artists.
Yeah, he does
things.
all that.
Yep.
And she used to style his artists, but not anymore.
I wonder why.
And then there's Russell and Colby.
So I like him.
Yeah.
I would say I like them, but I like him more than I like her.
Okay. Why?
But she a little chatty. She's just a little like it just seems like he's very laid back. He don't really say much. And I know opposites attract, and she just seems very opinionated about things that don't even in my opinion matter to her or is directly affected her. So that's why I'm like I don't know if I'm a big fan of her.
Yeah.
But continue.
Yeah, and they've been married for 3 years.
Okay.
So the first scene, they're getting together for a cookout. They bring everyone's family together so they can get acquainted for Father's Day. So Brandon, so they get into, this is like the first time they get into this topic of conversation of the episode where they're saying that there was like a trip to Vegas and Brandon couldn't go, or his wife asked so many questions that it turns him away from wanting to go.
So he
on
had
these guys' trips.
So he had to ask for permission to go to Vegas, and because he had asked permission, he just like, I'm just not gonna go because she got all these questions and stuff.
Yeah, to the point where he's just like, you know what, I just don't want to hear her mouth anymore. So
I mean that's understandable to a point. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I'm sure as a guy, speaking from a guy's perspective, you don't want to be questioned as if you are a child to why you want to go somewhere and why and what's going to happen. And I understand that they're married. But I do understand like that can get tiring at some points. Maybe.
Yeah, but it's also based off of your track record and your history. So if you've proven to be trustworthy, then there's no reason why you should be getting 21 questions.
Brandon looked like a trustworthy guy.
That's what Anthony said. A man of good character.
I'm about to say,
all of this stuff. And it's just like, we don't really know the man like that.
Listen here, this the first
Anthony
episode.
Don't really know the man like that.
I'm about to say this the first episode, but my thing is, it seems like all of them are friends, or at least the guys are friends, at least.
Yeah.
Because from what I've seen with you, is that they celebrate, like the first scene was them in the park, like them getting together and them
for the
like basically So it's definitely like a at least it's giving off the first scene a family vibe, like, you know, we're not just strangers coming together for a show.
Yeah,
we all know each
they
other.
have some type of connection.
Yeah.
And so Anthony, he brings up the trip and just saying like, yeah, we're gonna go like on a guy's vacation for the weekend, and it'll be really good for bonding. And he has this thing called
like him.
Yeah, he has this thing called the man's movement, where he explained it as the men building their faith, leading their families, and also wanting men to have a voice.
I like that.
So that in and of itself is not a bad thing.
No.
That's not bad.
No.
That's cool.
Here's the thing. So far, just 10 minutes in, Anthony seems like the outspoken one out of everybody. Like, he's like the spokesman of the men group. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's like the friend that's basically like very opinionated. He gonna let it be known for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if every guy needs a friend like Anthony that straight can be like, hey, why can't you let him go to Vegas? You know, someone that can be your sponsor, someone that can be your spokesman every now and then, you know, who don't know anything, you know,
don't know the inner workings of your relationship.
No, just speak.
Don't know how
me.
you operate. Just
speak.
Trust my man.
Hey, Anthony, can you call my wife and tell her that I need to go to Vegas? I like Anthony so far.
Yeah, I think Anthony be stirring the pot.
Okay,
he be having a lot to say.
Okay.
So then they get into this kind of back and forth where Christina was asking Brandon, like, or Anthony, are you asking or are you telling me about this men's weekend vacation? And he said, I'm not asking. Anthony ain't got to ask. He said, I'm not asking. And then she goes and turns to her husband, Brandon, and asks him. And then for some reason, he turns to Dr. Latoya and says, does he have to get permission from you?
Hey.
And it's like, you're not focused on the person talking to you right now.
I understand what Brandon did. Dr. Latoya, we haven't heard your voice at all in 10 minutes. Say something. And and you know what's funny about that? Mm-hmm. They are like opposites as well.
Yeah.
Like, Anthony is very outspoken, and she's like kind of like, she like pick her spots.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he pretty much is just saying that, you know, Christina sums it up to say, if you want to go, you can go.
We know. So I'm going to be waiting for you when you get home, man. Don't do it.
Exactly. It's not worth it. He better not go.
Don't do it.
All right. So then Christina and Colby bring their kids together to go to like a gymnasium. And they're just kind of having just some girl chat. So Christina turned 40 this year. She has just a rejuvenation for life, kind of wanting things to be different in her marriage, about things being 50-50 because Brandon works a lot. And she says he's out in the morning, out in the evening, all day during the day, and she's left with the kids, and she doesn't have enough time and opportunity for her to get out and do the things she wants to do for herself and her career.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, that's fair. At the same time, it's my thing is that when people get into relationships or marriages, and I don't know about married, we're engaged, so we'll be learning about that soon.
I probably won't, but go ahead.
Okay.
I don't know what you're going to say, so okay. I'm not going to sponsor that.
People have an agreement and arrangement as to how they want their relationships to go. I mean, how they see their marriage as.
Initially, yes.
And things can change as people change.
Things will change, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm totally on her side about having things shift and move and kind of, you know, changing just the layout and the landscape of their relationship and how they handle their household. But is Brandon going to be receptive to that?
Well, as a guy, guys don't really like change like that. So, and this is only like the second major scene in the show. So far, I'm only going by what she's saying and what he's saying. I don't know the backstory yet. We don't know the backstory yet. We're watching.
Yeah. And
the only thing that we got so far is that he works a lot and that he's never home. We don't know why he's never home. We just know he works a lot. And as it seems like, just off of the feel of it, it feels like she may contribute, but like he's like the provider of the house.
Yeah, like the breadwinner.
Yeah, so like that is an excuse, I'll put that in quotes, for him to be like, I gotta work because I gotta supply the house.
Yeah.
Dude, you get what I'm saying? It's not really saying, hey, can you help me so like we both can get what we want.
Contribute,
Exactly.
yeah.
Like, can you help me so I can be home to work? It's kind of like he's using that as a crutch to be like, I can't be home because I have to provide for the house.
Yeah.
You know, so like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's his angle. Then we get to Brandon at the Star Factory. He's working, y'all. He's working.
Now, so far, what is your feel for the show so far? Are you liking the show, or are you still kind of feeling it out?
I'm liking it so far. I feel entertained. I like the cast. They're, a beautiful group of people. So I love looking at beautiful Black people. And so far, the storylines are interesting enough. We're just kind of getting the surface level of everybody. And I'm interested to learn more about them. So I'll put it that way. I'm intrigued to learn more.
So far, I found myself while watching the show, like, do not compare it to Huntsville.
It's easy to.
It's very easy to. Do not compare it to DC because I don't want to fall into the trap of this ain't Huntsville, this ain't DC. So right now I'm trying to find something to latch on to the show. The first scene, I understand it's not really everything's a build up. I'm like, oh, okay, y'all are having a picnic. The second scene, okay, the housewives talking about they want to work or they want their husbands' homes. Okay, I get that. I think this next scene is what made me go, okay.
The fire.
I think
this was the sauce.
I think we go watch the show.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened in this scene?
All right. So Brandon, this is a layered scene. So Brandon, one, is at the studio. He's working.
You sure got to peel it like an onion. You got to do it layer by layer.
Layer by layer. So he's at the studio working. He gets a call from his wife. She's asking him what time you're going to be home. So I'm assuming he's working pretty late. So it must be late.
It seems that way.
Yeah. Underneath that, he's working with the new artist that he signed that he didn't talk to Christina about. He's saying that he needs to find the right opportunity when it makes sense to tell his wife. He hasn't told his wife yet about this new artist. So that to me is a huge flag. Why don't you want to talk to your wife about a new artist that you're signing?
It seems so far Brandon can't talk to his wife about anything.
Yeah.
He can't talk to his wife about Vegas. He can't talk about his work with his wife. And it just feels like he's it felt dirty. Even though
he was doing something wrong.
Even though we didn't see anything or don't know nothing at this point, I was like, why are you trying to rush your wife off the phone? If you ain't doing anything, or if you have another female artist that you're working with, which is always interesting to me how these male producers got these with all these men that want to be rappers, I'm gonna bring a woman here and sing something, it just felt dirty. It felt because I'm comparing my personality to his, to I don't have nothing to hide. Even if I am in the office or working with the opposite sex, if it's completely innocent, I have no problem saying yeah, I'm in the office with so and so. I'm in the office with so and so, just so to bring that peace of mind. Obviously, she did not feel no peace of mind because she stayed on the phone.
Yeah,
and he's frustrated because he can't get her off the phone.
And she's trying to ask, when are you coming home? He's getting upset, saying, you're messing up my flow. I'm in a flow. I might as well just end the session because you're calling me, asking me all these questions. And it's just if you would have told her from the jump and explained and laid out the whole situation, I would think that she would be more understanding of what it is and what you have to do. But you're looking real suspicious, trying to rush me off the phone. What is that about?
Number one, and I'm not saying that, well, I guess I am saying that I would do this. If I'm going to do all that on the phone anyway, I wouldn't even answer it.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be that...
Well, that's what he said, too. He said, I don't even know why I answered the phone.
No. You shouldn't answer the phone. Because I'm you're not going to cooperate with her on the phone. You're not even going to let her... You're not even... It's easier to just lie. It's just easier just to be hey, I'll be home in an hour. Or I'll be home in 30 minutes. But for him to go on this back and forth combativeness you're causing more strife, in my opinion, back at home. To where you could have just been like, hey, I'm working, or just don't answer, or just send a text and say I'm recording. But mind you, this is only the third scene, and we don't know the backstory of anything. I'm just like, why this guy just, like, he seemed like he move in the shadows. You know? Like, it just weird.
Yeah. So we go into their confessional, which I feel like was an important part to touch on, is where he's saying that if he felt more appreciated, then he would be at home more. And Christina is saying, well, that's not really the case. You kind of need to be home more for me to appreciate you. But that goes into the give and take of the work schedule and him using his job as an excuse not to be home with his family. So
I'm going to gaslight you now.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to gaslight you, and I'm going to say, hey, if the food was cooked, I'd come home and eat. If I felt appreciated at home, I would love being at home. I'm gonna keep moving that goalpost if I don't want to be home.
Exactly, that's that BS. So then we touch on Anthony and Dr. Latoya.
Yeah.
So they're having a discussion of where he went to Atlanta. So he works for Live Nation.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's probably the job that took him out to Atlanta to work on Marvel. And apparently he didn't discuss it with his wife. He just told her, I'm going to Atlanta to work on this Marvel movie. And she is, I think she's a doctor in physical therapy. That's what I picked up on.
Yeah.
But she was in the hospital. They have kids. She was caring for the household by herself. And she had all of that on her shoulders when he decided to go to Atlanta.
I ain't like that.
Yeah.
I ain't like that.
Yeah. And then he said if he didn't come home, and kind of finish that situation, then they would have been divorced.
Yeah, I think he said that he was coming home at the end of every week or something like that. And that if he felt like if he didn't do that, then they would have been divorced. And I know I said, like, Anthony is the guy that you want to have in your corner as your spokesman. But to leave, and I guess to him, it doesn't feel like he left. Because he's like, I'm going to work. I'm not going to vacation. I'm not going to do anything for fun. I'm going to work. But I don't want my girl or my wife to feel like a single parent.
Yeah. When
they have kids or new kids or young kids. And
she works full time.
Yes, and that kind of gave me, if you continue watching the scene, because her whole thing was you just got up and left. We didn't have a conversation about it. And like his whole thing was like, I'm working and things like that. And she's like, I work too. We have to come to an agreement as a partnership. I'm paraphrasing. And he said something across the lines of like, the marriage is back in the day or something like that. The marriage is back in the 1950s. The wife just followed along with what the husband wanted to do. Yeah. And that just brought me back to his little manpower little movement. I was like, oh man. It's
looking a little funny in the light, huh?
This look like manpower. this look a little dangerous, you know. This look like women shut up and just follow me power, but I still got my it's the first episode. I'm not coming to no judgment of nobody that harshly.
Yeah, you're just trying to get to know.
I'm just trying to get the feel. I'm just trying to get the feel.
All right. And then we get to the anniversary for Christina and Brandon. This is their 11th year being married.
Congratulations.
Exactly. That's a huge accomplishment. So that's awesome for y'all. And he takes her to a lavender field, and she was saying that she loved lavender, and it was so thoughtful that he remembered. And then we kind of cut to Colby and Russell, where Russell is pretty much talking about how, he's not super romantic, and sometimes the romance he does, he cooks on the grill, and he says, and then sometimes we do that romantic game. And she's like, you talking about sex? He's like, yeah, that romantic game. So, I guess that's Russell and what he does, but I thought that was funny. Cooking on the grill and pumping her up.
Hey,
so
if she likes it, I love it.
Yeah. Then so we get to hearing Anthony talking about his man movement again, because Russell, he goes to get something and he's just saying like, oh, Colby, yeah, you're going to eat what I'm going to eat. And Anthony's like, yeah, that's my man. Da, 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 da. Like this, man movement and all this type of stuff.
Let me stop you right there for a second. How strange did you feel like for their 11th year anniversary?
Yeah.
That they spent it with their friend group? Because I felt like, even though I feel like they were friends, I didn't get to feel that they were
like that
close enough that I spend my anniversary with y'all type of closeness. Maybe I'm off.
I think that was just kind of like a made for TV event. Like we kind of got to get everybody together. So let's celebrate this.
Yeah, because I was like, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have celebrated. And maybe it was something else after that we didn't see on camera. But I'm like, I don't think I would have celebrated with my friends, and I'm close with my friends.
Yeah. I wouldn't have either.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I would have did that. Birthday, yes. Christmas, even. I should give y'all Christmas.
Or maybe even like a milestone anniversary. Some people do that with their friends and families.
Okay. So go ahead. So Anthony's still talking about like, go ahead, man. Yeah. Man power.
Christina pretty much calls him a male chauvinist and is saying that's what she thinks this man movement about. So he, again explains.
That got him going.
Right. He explains what it is and, empowering the men to have a voice and everything like that. And Anthony talks about how he's protective about Brandon.
Yes.
And feeling like, in a way, that Christina could be holding him back from progressing and succeeding in his career.
Now, let me stop you there.
Yeah.
I'm close with my friends. I told you that. I don't think I would ever speak in defense of my friend to his wife.
Yeah.
Because his wife knows things about him.
In a more intimate,
in a way
that way.
I will never know about my male friends. And even if I were to switch the gender, my female friends who got husbands. There's things that I just won't know. I appreciate the support though. But as a man, in my opinion, I don't need you to defend me in that matter.
To your freaking wife.
To the point where you're making my wife the enemy of my success. To where it's like we are protective of Brandon because we see the potential in him. Like she
doesn't benefit directly from his success.
And you hold him back.
I do feel like Anthony does a lot of mansplaining. He talks a lot. And there's nothing wrong with guys talking a lot, but I feel like sometimes guys who talk a lot, like, you think you know more than the people that you're around. Where we get to the point to where he's saying, I know Brandon. He's a man of good character. And you should let him go to the club and do what he needs to do. And she's saying, I know him. And because of the history. He said, what now? He said, what history?
Let's hear.
What history?
I would have been tapping Anthony like, please stop this.
What history?
Exactly. And now Anthony looking like shocked. And this whole time, the thing that I think is powerful about this scene so far is that his wife, Anthony's wife, Latoya, she didn't say anything.
Because I think Latoya, she comes off very wise and socially aware.
The best thing to do is to not say anything. So nobody can say you're a fool.
Right.
You sit there and you sit quiet. Nobody can accuse you of being a fool. She didn't say anything. She didn't even try to tame her husband. She was just sitting down. At certain points, I forgot she was there until they put the camera like on that angle. So now Anthony's sitting there with the egg on his face, and Brandon just looking with the oh boy, not this again face, not this again face.
Right. So, as the conversation goes, somehow Colby brings up he has a new artist that he signed.
The news that he didn't want to tell his wife on that FaceTime call a scene or two back.
Right. And it came out at their anniversary dinner. And then he asked her, well, how'd you know? Clearly her husband.
Yeah.
And Colby, that's a flag on the play for you.
Yes.
Because what's between you and your partner? Like, y'all have pillow talk. Y'all, find out what's going on with each other's friends or whatever the case may be. But you don't take that out for everybody, in front of everybody to hear. Like, that's foul.
I love you, and I want to spend my life with you. One secret that leave this room or leave this house about one of my guys, that would be the last secret I ever tell you.
I'm going to get no more tea.
No, you're not going to get anything. And now you got the husband saying, hey, get up out their house. Get up out their relationship.
Get your leg up out there.
Yeah, like stop that. But guess what? If I was Brandon, I'd straight just women looking at him like, oh, so y'all got nothing better to talk about. Y'all talking about me? Anthony over here talking loud, defending me. He don't know me like that. I understand you. I appreciate you, brother. But now you about to make her tell on me in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And then eventually it all comes out like you said that, oh, he got a new female artist, and the first time the wife hearing about it, it's the first time everybody else hearing about it. Hell, somebody knew before the wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand if the guys know, but my advice would be, if you're going to tell your guys, don't make it too long after you tell your wife or like your girl.
Exactly.
Don't make it, because he kept saying, I'm looking for the perfect situation to tell her. I'm like, what is the situation?
But to me, that was just him being avoidant.
That's like, him being dirty, sneaky.
Yeah, and it's just like, you just didn't want to tell her because you didn't want to have to deal with the conversation. Facts. I feel like it probably was even more escalated the way that it came out. She probably would have been mad if you told her before. Maybe, I don't know what agreement y'all have if maybe, you don't sign new people or whatever the case is. But
why would she be mad at you having a female artist? Why?
Yeah, because of what he's done in the past.
And what history. And what did he do?
We don't know.
No. I'm trying to give you a lie.
He cheated.
Yes.
Well, she kept saying the history, and she never straight out says what it is.
She did say.
What'd she say?
That he crossed the line with one of his artists, and she used to dress her.
Yeah.
And that's how she ended up not dressing that art. That's how she ended up not dressing his artist no more.
Yeah.
And that's why we figured out of why he don't want to tell his wife that he got another female artist, because he's shown not to be he's shown not to get his hands dirty with his artists. Which getting me back to my point, all these guys just want to work with female artists. There's a whole, but trust me, I can go down the street and find a group of men rapping in a circle that that wants to get put on.
Right now,
I can find a group of guys down the street from the guys.
Walk right past them.
Exactly. I can find a group of guys that's down the street from the guys that's rapping, singing, that want to be put on. So it's very interesting that he wanted to hide that information just for it to come out on their anniversary, that he haven't been faithful throughout the relationship of their marriage. And not only did he cheated on her, he cheated on her with an artist.
Yeah.
So in a way, she is justified. Well, not in a way, she is justified.
Yeah, she's absolutely justified.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should definitely be upset. One, because he's still lying. You know, you were lying when you were cheating and doing whatever you were doing with the artist. So the fact that you're not even trying to change the action.
Yeah.
You know, that led you into the situation in the first place.
Yeah. It's dirty.
Yeah. So that's pretty much that first episode. I was into it. I want to see more.
Yeah. I read some criticisms of the series, and not just this episode, like the other series, that they kind of getting tired of same storyline, different city.
That's a fair criticism.
Somebody's cheating. Someone's not faithful. I even read somewhere saying, "Don't let Carlos King break y'all up, family." You know, I'm like, wow.
Okay.
I'm very interested in this. I'm gonna be fair to give my so far, like the first episode. I feel like there shouldn't be no judgment on the first episode. I'm gonna wait to the end of the season to give my opinion on if we should just can it, or keep it going. But yeah, I'm very interested in this. Please, in the comments below, let us know what you think about each couple and what. And I guess we saw some sneak preview. It's going to be some drama, but please let us know what you think of, for one, us. And please let us know what you think of Love and Marriage Detroit is what it's called, right? Yeah. Anything else?
Nothing else. I'm ready to see what this season holds. So
yeah, I feel like we did good this episode. I feel like, you know, we gotta work on our chemistry a little bit. You know, Michael Jordan, Scotty. You know, Kobe Bryant, Shaq. Do you know who
Kobe, Shaq?
Is that because I'm
MJ?
Okay.
Michael Jordan,
look,
Scotty.
Look.
I got you.
If you go
all
be,
that.
if you go be MJ,
Beyonce. Oh no, I'm not Beyonce. No Beehive. I'm sorry.
If you go be if you go be Michael Jordan, then I'm Phil Jackson. I'm the coach then.
Okay.
I ain't no Scottie Pippen. You have to buy. Y'all have a good day, man.
All right, bye y'all.